When you create images and stories, it's really easy for you to picture them in your mind. But if you have to explain your story and images to someone else, it takes a little bit more time. For example, if I said, hey, picture this image of this tortoise and hare, and you'll probably just picture this, right? Boom, you see it. But if I were to explain to you what I'm seeing, I'm like, okay, so we have this tortoise and he's going across this finish line. Then we have this hare in the back. He's all mad because he just lost. And then you have these clouds and trees. So it was a lot longer to say it than just picture it. But people like to say everything that they're picturing. And they're not even saying it to someone. It's when they're creating the stories and the images, they're like, okay, let me just kind of say everything. So we have this goat on the left, this goat on the right, and they ram each other, boom, on this branch. Okay, and maybe there's like some cliff below them. And so they want to say everything. And that is a huge mistake because in your mind, you're saying all that stuff without it being said, right? You're picturing it. So why do you have to be redundant and just say essentially the same thing that you're picturing? It really doesn't make sense. It just wastes time. And so if you have, the hare and the hound, you don't have to say, okay, I see this dog chasing, this bunny. Boom, you're good. Because your mind adds all this other detail to it. You don't have to say, okay, so this bunny had this camera around his neck, and then this dog had like the spike collar. Like, why are you saying all these additional things you don't have to say when you're creating your story? You're picturing the story, the images, and that's good enough for your brain. You already see it. Of course, I made a video explaining how adding too much detail is a problem, so you don't want to do that. But you don't want to be so vague like, okay, boom, I saw a dog, that's it. No, you have to make sure you actually see the dog, and maybe, it's black and white, whatever, but you don't have to go into saying everything about the dog, like, oh, here's this dog, it had like long hair, it's been waiting all day there. No, you really just need to picture your images and stories and then move on, because subconsciously you know all this additional stuff to the story. You don't have to say it in order for it to be true. It's already true once you picture it. So hopefully this is making sense, because it might seem like, wait, what's this guy trying to say about, picturing stories and saying stories, or, like saying the stories I'm creating in images. Of course, you probably say them when you create it, but you don't have to say everything that you're picturing, because you already say that with the image and stories you're creating. So hopefully this video makes sense to you. If it doesn't, leave a comment down below and I'll try to explain it if it doesn't make sense to you. But hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.